We had a crazy NBA draft last night. Wow, I mean, I'm still stunned with a lot of the stuff that went down. And today, I'm going to do another news video just because I felt like it made sense. I want to talk about the draft. I have a lot of opinions I'd like to share about what went down last night. I'm going to have the rest of this series probably live commentary, so don't worry about that. But let's talk about the draft. And this is the NBA Finals Season 6 gameplay if y'all are wondering, but the draft, just a lot of crazy stuff happened. We know that Ben Simmons and Brandon Ingram were going to go 1 and 2 pretty much from the start. Like they were saying on TV, the real draft started at the 3rd pick. The Boston Celtics, we didn't know what they were going to do. If they were going to shop their 3rd pick. Well, we were pretty sure they were, but they didn't. Very interesting because it looked like they were going to go out and trade for someone like Jimmy Butler, DeMarcus Cousins, maybe Gordon Hayward, Blake Griffin. A lot of names being tossed out, but mostly Jimmy Butler. That's why I was kind of worried. Being a Bulls fan, I wanted him to stay. I didn't want a prospect because that meant that the Bulls were going to be fully rebuilding. Not something I really wanted to watch for the next couple years. But it's okay, they didn't. The Bulls kept Jimmy Butler. They seem like they're committed to him being the franchise player, which is good. But the Boston Celtics, very strange to see, what they did, because a lot of Boston fans were not happy with the draft last night. They go out, they get Jaylen Brown with the 3rd pick. I was very surprised by this. I thought they were totally going to get Chris Dunn, the point guard out of Providence, just because he's the best overall player remaining. You'd think that they just have him so they could have a trade piece just to entice other teams into giving them a good player, but they didn't. They took Jaylen Brown, which is weird because it seems like that's going to be a guy they add to their system. He doesn't look like a trade chip. I don't think he's the best player out of those guys. I mean, yes, he's a good player, he can play, but I don't really know if he fits. He doesn't shoot the ball well. He doesn't take care of the ball well. Those are two things the Celtics want in players. He does defend well, which is good. That's the thing they like. He can force turnovers. But I don't think that he's really the best player. And also a lot of decisions they made after that, don't really make a lot of sense. I mean, they picked a guy at 16 that was like this overseas guy no one wanted. A lot of their picks, they had a lot of fans booing. A lot of guys on Twitter were just upset. So I don't know. I really don't know what their plan is. It doesn't look like they really did what they wanted because they wanted to trade a lot of those picks. They didn't, unfortunately for them. How about after that, though? We get a couple picks in, and at number 10, the Milwaukee Bucks take Thon Maker. No one saw this coming, but it makes a little bit of sense because the Bucks love these type of players. You saw what they did with Giannis Antetokounmpo. They already struck gold with him. They see if they can do it again with Thon Maker, but I think this is even more of a risk because this might be one of the least NBA-ready prospects in the first round, probably. I mean, people weren't even sure if he was going to get picked in the first round just because they don't know enough about him. He's super thin. Yes, he's got great height and great wingspan. He's athletic. He can shoot the ball, but they just don't know how he translates to the NBA. Very interesting pick. High risk, high reward for the Milwaukee Bucks at 10. How about the 11th pick? Not who was picked. The Magic initially took Domantas Sabonis, but a blockbuster trade, and I was so shocked when I saw this because it didn't make any sense to me. The Thunder are looking to get rid of Serge Ibaka, and they just absolutely trade rape the Orlando Magic. I mean, are you kidding me? If you saw this trade, the Thunder sent Serge Ibaka to the Orlando Magic in exchange for Victor Oladipo, Ersan Ilyasova, and the 11th pick, Domantas Sabonis. That is huge because I don't understand why Orlando wants to interrupt a development process on Victor Oladipo. They won more games last year than they did the last couple years. It doesn't make sense to me. Why do you want to trade and get a power forward? You don't need one. You got Aaron Gordon. He's the guy you're developing right now, unless you're playing him at small forward. I don't know. I just don't see why the Magic need to dump all these guys, especially Oladipo and that 11th pick. For a guy like Serge Ibaka, who's been in the league a long time and shown that he doesn't have that much upside. He's not going to get that much better. He's a 3-and-D power forward. And he doesn't do much on offense other than shoot. I mean, he can defend, but he's not a guy that you're going to get a lot out of. You know, he's one of those guys that he's going to give you shooting and defense, but he's not going to give you, these great games. He's going to be pretty consistent, but he's just not going to he's not going to be a franchise-changing player, I don't think. And they were saying that Frank Vogel was super happy about this move. I guess he likes the idea of having a defensive big like Ibaka that can also stretch the floor. It does make sense a little bit if you think of it like that, because Frank Vogel with the Pacers a couple years ago, you saw what he turned Roy Hibbert into. I'm not saying that Roy Hibbert was ever really good. I'm just saying that he played well for that Pacers team. And you look at him with the Lakers after that and what happened, right? I mean, I guess he was going downhill with the Pacers after those couple seasons in the playoffs, but I don't know. I mean, if Frank Vogel can turn this guy into something great, then that would be a miracle, I think, because I don't see how it would happen. But hey, you never know. I mean, this is a very good coach. We know what he can do. But I think Oklahoma City loves this because now they have a dynamic backcourt, super athletic. And Victor Oladipo, yes, he is a young guy with some flaws to his game, but he's not going to have to create shots for himself anymore. He's going to be a spot-up shooter in this offense. They don't need him to handle the ball, which is fine, because they can just get Westbrook and Durant, assuming Durant stays, which I think he will, to get him looks. And he's going to be great for 3-and-D, and he's super athletic too. That's going to help so much for that team, I think. And they get Ilyasova, a shooter, and Sabonis, the 11th pick. So I think that's great value. Also, the Bulls, my team, select Denzel Valentine at 14. I wanted them to select Wade Baldwin 4, but this is probably the next best thing. Maybe even the best thing, because Denzel can do a lot of things. He's not very athletic, not a very good defender, and he doesn't really finish the rim well, but he can shoot the ball with incredible range, incredible accuracy. He can do a lot of things on the court. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I do like doing these videos. This was game 1. We did lose it, but everything's going to go uphill from here. Let's hope. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more uploads. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.